If you're a small business owner trying to grow your business, it's highly likely that you will have seen a promise that looks like this in marketing. For example, get to 100K per month in 6 months without sales calls. This kind of offer framework is very popular thanks to old mate Alex Hormozy, and there's a reason for that. It is very effective. But in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down that exact promise. But before I get into that, I want to talk a bit first about what Hormozy's value equation actually translates to. But basically, on a macro level, it is what is the dream outcome multiplied by the perceived likelihood of success. And then you divide that by the time delay and the perceived effort or sacrifice. And it's this effort or sacrifice that is so powerful to many people in the marketing materials. Now, one of the common ones that I see here on YouTube specifically, the without part is without having to do sales calls. And I think it's really important to break down, particularly for B2B service-based business owners, what this promise actually entails, because I have done all of these basically through in the 5 years of running my business. So I know the pitfalls of each, and I also know who it is relevant to. So let's take first of all the without sales calls part. Sales calls, if you can do them, are one of the most effective ways to drive revenue. People love buying from people that they know, like, and trust. And the best way to develop trust is by spending face time or phone time with someone that you're trying to do business with. When you bring in a system that requires you to essentially replace any sort of transactional relationship prior to someone giving you money, it's only for a specific type of business. And there is quite a significant trade-off required to get a system like that to work. Now, don't get me wrong, these systems do work. And I know that for a lot of people, sales calls are probably the hardest thing to do because it can be very draining, when you've had multiple conversations in a row with people who've said no. As humans, we don't like rejection a lot of the time. But what's required is still a mechanism for you to build up trust with a potential buyer. That means they won't need to speak to you directly. It will just be a complete no-brainer. So if you think you can just flick some buttons on, flick some ads on here and there, and that the system will magically happen, it's not the case. And what's actually required can be against the values of certain business owners' approaches. What you'll find is a series of value-dense emails, multiple per day, that will go across a span of 2 weeks to a month, and then will continue to trail on until you buy, die, or subscribe. So for some people and some businesses, the frequency in which emails are going out automated is actually not aligned to the values of that business. So if you're someone who doesn't like the idea of sending a lot of emails from your domain, your business's domain, then this may not be an approach for you. Another thing as well is people still want to be on the other end of human or speak to a human. You still need a way to converse with people. And it is an effective way if you're someone who's not strong on the sales call front to grow your business. But the level of investment that you're likely to be able to close on the front end, so day one revenue, is going to be in the low 4 figures at best, in my opinion. It's very hard to sell anything over $5,000, in some jurisdictions even lower than that, without some form of speaking to someone or some form of sales call.